leaving Drift Nirvana, I got a little pedal happy. And
Sounds familiar.
it felt really weird when I did it, so I did it again.
Sounds familiar.
Step one in the diagnostic process.
Do it again.
Replicate problem.
There you go.
It still drove fine, but every time I would yank on it, it would just like pull to the right. And I was like, oh, I broke an axle.
Welcome back to the Dirt Drive. PJ's sitting across from us playing with an RC car. And we have guests.
Guest.
With us today is our friend, our new friend, Freddie Abe. Tom is here as usual. Trevor is brought us in, and I'm Tim.
And there's
And
Rusty.
my dog is Rusty.
Oh, yes.
Don't mind the poop zoomies.
Freddie, it's nice to finally meet you, man. We've heard about you. We've been trying to get you on for a while.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
I've been listening to you.
Thanks, man.
You didn't want to bring the Chevelle out in the rain?
Oh, no, it's dangerous in the rain.
That just makes it
It's
fun.
dangerous no matter what.
Yeah, it's broken right now, too.
You
so-
know,
Oh, I know the feeling.
what is the Chevelle? We've the 3 or 4 of us have seen it.
So it's a 90s circle track chassis with a 71 Chevelle body on it. And it's a hodgepodge of like 70 years worth of parts. It's got a Corvette 4-speed from the 60s all the way up to a Holley Terminator X, which
Damn.
is the bee's knees.
Noted.
Was it a 5.3?
Yeah, it's
In
a
it?
junkyard Tahoe 5.3.
Nice.
The best kind.
Yeah, pulled it out, had a wiped cam lobe and a bad lifter. So I did a lifter cam, put it back together.
So was it inspired by NASCAR Low, or was this like a pre-NASCAR Low idea that you had?
Post NASCAR low, and then it all happened very quickly.
As most
As it
projects do.
usually does.
Someone up in New York had posted, I don't know if you guys had ever seen it, but it was like a Pontiac or something.
Okay.
It was just a little 4-door sedan, and a guy put it on a
A
NASCAR chassis. And I texted my buddy. He lives in Berkeley Springs, and I was like, "Hey, you still got that chassis? You want to sell it?" He's like, "Yes, come get it." I was like, "Oh." I was like,
Shit, I gotta build this now.
I oversold that.
He's like, I was like, "How much you want for it?" He's like, $1,200. Come get it. And I was like,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
well, I don't have the money right now. He's like, come get it. I don't care. Yeah, I know you. You're good. So
It's a good friend.
load up the trailer.
Yeah.
I go pick it up in a snowstorm. His neighbor loads it on my trailer with a tractor
Oh, nice.
Sounds like Berkeley
in
Springs.
a snowstorm. Like there's snow on the trailer from when I left, and it didn't have a single bolt in it. Like it was.
Oh, it
a
was just a tube
bare
chassis?
Oh, nice.
Damn.
All right.
So it came with a bunch of parts, wheels, coilovers, suspension, ton of stuff. It took me like 6 months to figure out like what everything was.
Yeah.
And it's got like 80s G-body parts, 90s Chevy parts. Like it's
It's the best kind of rig.
Yeah.
And that was just because, like, you saw something on Facebook. Like, yeah, I could build that.
yeah. And then so I had a Fummins at the time that I'd built, like OBS F-150.
Okay.
Put a Cummins in it, Super Duty axles, that whole deal. We'll talk about that one later.
All the good, taking the best of each little thing.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
sprinkling it all together.
And I had a line on a $200 F-150. I was going to put the cab onto that chassis.
Okay.
And then that fell through, and I was at my dad's house talking to him, and I was like, I need like a Chevelle or a Malibu or a Camaro, something like that. And he's like, I know where one's at, in your uncle's driveway. Well, field. So we went out and looked at it. It was so far into the ground, the oil pan was in the ground.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
So picked that up in a snowstorm as well. My truck got stuck on ice trying to load it up.
So you got a whole snowstorm vibe going
Yeah.
on.
And it had sat in a field for 20 years. My aunt bought it brand new in 1971.
Damn.
The title still had the lien on it from 71.
That's awesome.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So it's a 71.
Then you just
picked out a field.
hacked it up and zip tied it to a tube chassis.
Well, it's glued on there.
All right.
Yeah, so I've got a 71 Camaro that I pulled out of a field.
Nice.
Same thing, or grass up to, or dirt up to the hubs.
Yeah.
Pulled it out, and I'm LS swapping it right now.
Yeah.
So
Holly Terminator.
yeah,
If you haven't already.
I haven't. I'm probably not going to because I'm poor.
Oh, it's so good.
I got the Carl's Customs $300 wiring harness, and I'm having Brian flash the computer.
Yeah, I've seen it. It was back and forth. And as deep as I was into the Chevelle, I was like, ah.
Yeah.
The Terminator's what, like a whole intake throttle body
No,
setup?
it's just a ECU wiring harness, all
Yeah.
that stuff. You can go as deep as a intake and all that. But
So it'll run off the factory injectors and
yeah,
everything?
it's got I pulled. So when we went to the junkyard, I pulled the engine out of a Tahoe, pulled a different intake manifold, and then a different throttle body. So it's all
So yeah,
mismatched.
cobbled together.
So I've got
the high performance.
got
high
5
output stuff.
injectors out of a newer Tahoe,
Right. Okay.
and then a return fuel rail instead of the non-return.
Okay.
So it was like a whole day at a junkyard, just picking parts.
Those are good days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that also in a snowstorm?
It was a nice day on there.
Lucky.
Pulled it home with my Subaru
Nice.
that I no longer have.
Was this project? Were you into 4-wheeling before this project?
Oh yeah, I've been into 4-wheeling for probably close to 10 years.
Okay.
I started out working at Chaos Fab Shop.
Okay, in Winchester.
Yeah.
Nice. Sound effects here.
Wah, wah.
And probably started going to the Cove like 7 years ago.
Nice.
And went without a rig and then borrowed rigs.
Yeah.
And then wheeled my F-150 on stock axles, 35s, no lift.
Sounds like me.
Sounds like a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then have just evolved over the years.
That's awesome. So you're in a YJ now. How'd you end up in a YJ?
So
Square lights for life.
Square headlights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Square headlight squad, man.
So my Fummins, that was also a family truck that my pap had bought brand new, but it lived a rough life. Like
Yeah.
it went on hunting trips everywhere. It was very rusty. So I put Super Duty axles under it and a Cummins in it. And I cracked the frame once out at the Cove, welded it back up.
So you wheeled the Fummins?
Oh yeah,
Oh hell
was about
yeah!
that
At the
full
Cove,
size
no
one.
At the
less.
Cove,
Yeah,
Jesus
that's-
Christ.
it was so fun.
It's tough on.
That took some
full-body
rocks.
rigs. Yeah, I had my
That is
04 Silverado 1500 out there.
Yeah.
Full body rig, and it didn't come back straight at all.
Oh, no.
It beat the shit.
think I
out
you
of it.
ruined that truck.
I went
Yeah.
2 trips.
Poor Bruce.
And I didn't mess it up. And then like the third trip out, it was like this rocker, this door, this fender.
Yeah,
But it was
Yeah, you
fun.
get a little overconfident.
you get a little comfortable,
yeah.
confident.
cracked the frame on that. Like each leaf spring mount had a crack in front of the frame.
So-
Like I wheeled the shit out of that thing.
that's awesome.
I've got
What,
some. I've
what
got
year
some
was
videos.
this? How did we miss you?
It was like I wheeled it from 2019 to 2021.
That's the time we got started. Well, not big dogs trips, just out there.
I did one big dogs, but big dogs is expensive.
It is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've heard that from a lot of people. That's wild.
So yeah, cracked the
That's
frame
wh-
on that.
That's wild that people can be like in your backyard, like you're
Yeah.
in Percival.
Yeah.
We've never seen that.
I've
sounds
rode by your
ridiculous.
house like 10 times on a mountain bike, and I was like, wonder who lives there.
Yeah,
Now I
that's
know
me.
who lives there.
Yeah,
I'm so
I
sorry.
get that one a lot. Like we met a couple people like in the neighborhood like last summer, and we were like, oh yeah, we're the ones that live in the tan house. Like, oh, with all the Jeeps, and we're like, yeah, and my wife's like, yeah, that's us. I'm like, yeah, I'm the Jeep guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get that.
that's me.
People will see us and like, oh, you're the one with that Chevelle, aren't you? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Your wife's like, yeah.
She supports it though. She's a saint. So
Yeah.
she's too good for me.
Yeah, I know the
I think
feeling.
that's all of our wives. Yeah.
But
So we sit in my basement for the 3rd straight hour.
Yeah, exactly. Got down here at 1:30, just finally starting the last episode now.
so yeah, cracked the frame a bunch on that, and then we found out we were having a kid. And I was like, well, I need something with a back seat because it was just a single cab. And like it was between swapping the frame with a newer one or a better one, and I was like, I'm not doing all this again. So I parted it out, made money on the deal somehow, and then bought the YJ for $2,500.
Nice. Did you sell the axles out from under it too?
Oh, yeah.
Or did you keep those for the YJ?
No, because I didn't know what route I was going to go.
Okay.
And I've done the full-size life. That's too much for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like I said. That's where I started. I did 2 trips in my full-size truck, and I bought an XJ for $700. I'm like, this is the life I want.
$750.
$750.
No, he bought the
$50
XJ for
a battery.
$700
And the battery for 50.
Yeah, that was. I remember listening to that. That was good. I can't get rid of this battery, man.
As PJ
Yeah, it's-
screws in
Speaking of batteries.
1/24th scale size parts into his
Yeah.
RC car.
Well, you didn't bring your ratchet with you, your electric ratchet?
I've got one.
Oh, you got
It's a screwdriver.
Because you're also into this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Pretty
he goes
heavily
for the
within the
big
last couple
cars,
months.
full-size cars, and now the little baby ones.
Yeah. Because one expensive hobby doesn't work unless you
No.
have the miniature version of that
the
expensive
expensive
hobby.
My hobby is collecting hobbies.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Jack of all trades, but master of none.
Yes.
But jack of all trades is better than one.
Right.
That's right.
It's the rest of that saying. It's one of my favorite sayings.
Well, yeah, because people forget the second half of that saying.
PJ, I think you need to adjust your bump stops.
Yeah.
I think you're bottoming out. Your coilovers there.
So how'd you get into the RC thing?
Because he's a man-child like the rest of
Yes.
us.
Yes.
Your kid wanted an off-roader to play with, and
Well,
you're
no,
like, yeah, this could be fun.
I started into it before he was born, and then now that he's a year and a half, he is glued to them.
Oh
Yeah.
So like as soon as I saw him glued to him, I got into it way more.
Well, PJ's also a year and a half, and he's glued to them.
Yeah. So like seeing him play with them and interact, and it's even
Does he
cooler.
wheel? Does he? I guess, do you call it wheeling? Does he drive yours, or does he have his own?
He's got a little John Deere tractor. He hasn't.
Oh,
Nice.
He can only just steer or just throttle. He hasn't figured out both of them.
Are you gonna do the powered Power Wheels thing for
Oh
him?
yeah, I've already got one.
That you're gonna like put a tube chassis in and
want
a
to.
lawnmower engine
Yeah.
and
Just gonna end
jump
up-
it.
We went and bought a broken Jeep Power Wheel for $30, and then I bought the Milwaukee
Yeah,
battery thing,
the adapter.
and a
Turbo.
controller for it. So I drive him around in it.
Oh, you drive him around in it. So
Yeah.
you're sitting here driving, ripping him around. That's awesome.
He loves it.
I'm going to have to go ahead and pre-order one of those for myself.
I've got a pink Barbie Jeep.
No.
What?
They make paint.
Yeah. Just,
Kid's first rollover. Sir, have you been drinking
I always
today?
flash back to Nick's kids at the Cove.
Doing it intentionally.
Doing it intentionally. They were driving their Power Wheels
Up the RTI
ramp until it flipped over. And their dad would walk over, pick it up, put it back on its wheels. He'd get back in it, drive it around, and go right back up the RTI ramp until it flipped over. And he just kept, like, the Jeep would just land on top of him. It was fantastic.
loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, build one with samurai axles.
Oh, that would be awesome. Oh, like a full buggy with samurai axles?
Yeah, because they're like this wide.
Yeah. Yeah, those are fantastic. That'd be so, sweet.
We're talking like putting a Power Wheels Jeep body on
Samurai axles.
Samurai axles.
Yes.
I'm about it.
Yeah, I'm all about
it.
A little jealous. I don't have the free time for that.
Oh, I don't either.
It sounds like you do.
You just got an angry wife, yeah. Got it. I think we all do.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I don't know. I'm in the shed working on the car.
Which one?
Exactly.
I got to finish my personal projects before I start building rock buggies for my future children.
We've got too many
Hey,
damn
babe.
personal
Just
projects.
bought a car for $5,000. Oh, what is it? It's a children's Power Wheel.
It's not for me. It's not for me. It's for the kid.
It's for the kids. You gotta learn how to drive sometime.
Buy Samurai, get the axles, and put tons into the Samurai, and then you have axles for the little kids.
I know where we can get that.
What, a Samurai?
Mm-hmm. Mike's that doesn't run. We could just take the axles out from under it.
Yeah.
I've actually
you've-
wheeled a Samurai a few times. They're really fun.
You've got a whole like vision board for this.
Oh, yeah.
This samurai axle project.
Yeah.
So are you gonna wheel or do you wheel the YJ pretty
yeah.
hard?
Mhm.
Nice.
I know my limits on it. Like I was listening to you guys last week talk about axles and stuff, and knowing your limits on what you've got helps a lot with
Yeah.
people too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's 8.8 rear, welded diff.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Or no, yeah, welded diff, Dana 30 with cable disconnect and a Detroit.
Nice.
That's
Okay. That's
basically the exact setup that's in mine.
And
yeah, except for it just
513s.
looks good.
Not for
and
long.
It runs down the road.
Well, it runs.
I don't know if yours doesn't have a 5.2 in it though, does it?
No, it's 2.5
Oh, it's a
Oh, so
2.5.
it's a
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
bagger.
awesome.
Well,
with 513s.
That's awesome.
Oh.
That thing probably.
it probably does what, 43 miles an hour?
I roll 70 down the road.
Really?
Damn.
What size tire?
Damn.
do you run on
35s.
Damn.
You should,
And it's only got 4 years.
I
Fifth
was gonna
year's
say,
gone.
I was gonna say it's only a 4-speed.
No, it's
still,
a
right?
5-speed, but fifth, you can put it in
Useless.
fifth and it just goes nowhere.
It cries.
So
Please don't.
apparently, in the AX5, they have a
So is that 70 off
collar
the
or
rev
something.
limiter?
No.
Yeah, are you sure?
Yeah.
All right. I
Damn.
have to run that math later.
That's awesome.
That's impressed.
I drive it everywhere. Drive it down into Reston and DC. And,
Is that your daily?
no, my daily is an 87 Suburban.
Who are you?
87 Suburban. He mentioned you had a Suburban. I'm thinking like a 2012.
No, 87
That's
Suburban.
awesome.
Suburban.
8-lug 4-wheel drive. small block Chevy.
God
My
damn.
God. I'll trade you a Duramax
Yeah, hell yeah.
right now. Like it'll come with a trailer. It's not mine, but you can have the trailer.
No, you can't.
That's awesome.
Hold on, wait till you see it.
Oh, here we go. Down the rabbit hole. Just start fading
So-
out now, future Tim.
I'm gonna hop on Facebook, see if I can find
Oh
something.
my God.
So what was your dad's?
Oh. Don't show him that. Dude, you're going to hurt his soul.
Why do you
is that a
love
big
cars
block?
so much?
Did he?
What
did you say
happened
it was a
to
big
you?
No,
block?
he said small block.
Small block, yeah. I
Small
wanted
block.
a big block, but I couldn't find one.
Yeah.
There.
So what happened to you? Why you love cars so much? Because we all have trauma of why we love cars. My parents got divorced, and that's why I like cars.
I didn't really have trauma.
No, I started working on my dad's.
created
Show me on the
my own-
car where they touched you.
I created my own trauma with cars. I did it to myself.
Yeah.
My dad has always been like a shade tree mechanic.
Okay.
Like he's good at doing stuff, but he's not good at figuring out why certain
Stuff doesn't
things-
work.
Yeah. But he's always been into cars, and I started working on his 71 C10 when I was 11 or 12.
Nice.
Well, that's normal though. Like that.
Yeah.
That's a normal progression.
Yeah.
Him daily driving an '87 Suburban is not normal.
Yeah, my dad had an 83
Yeah.
CJ, and I started working on it when I was about 10, 12 years old.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what started it. And then I got the Camaro, and it really dove in. So after the C10, I mean, you just kept working on shit.
Yeah. So I started out with a Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Oh hell yeah!
I'd like to talk about that one.
Why don't you like to talk about that one? Eclipses are cool, man.
It was a third gen.
We all
though.
make mistakes.
We all make mistakes.
I went down a BMW rabbit hole. It's okay. It
I've been down
happens.
those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have a very niche, like,
Yeah, E30 BMWs.
Yes.
Like it's a very and before they were like cool. Like I used to buy like the thing we're dealing with XJs right now
Oh, yeah.
is what I did with E30s. Like I would buy a $500 one, drive it, and be like, oh, a parts car to fix my daily driver. Oh shit, the parts car I just bought's better than my daily driver. I'm just gonna drive my parts car around.
I did that with RX-7s. I built a small
Yeah.
block Chevy RX-7 in high school.
Smart. Take the rotary out, throw it in the trash.
Well, I borrowed my dad's truck engine.
Borrowed the engine?
Yeah.
Did he ever get the engine back?
Yeah.
Oh, all right,
It runs and drives today.
All right.
Nice.
That's impressive, actually.
But
I've
yeah.
borrowed a lot of car parts that didn't survive.
It was very fun too, but I didn't know what I was doing at all.
Oh, we
Yeah.
still don't.
Yeah, it is. Every day's a challenge.
I know what to do, not to do now.
that's usually one of the easier things to figure out.
Yeah.
And way
Ooh,
easier.
it blew up. Don't do that again.
It was very dangerous. Like it burnt my face because a radiator hose popped, and
Oh, yeah.
my now wife and mom made me go to the emergency room, and my whole face was bandaged up.
That's
Damn.
such a classic story. I'm fine. Go to the emergency room. I don't want to.
I've never been that guy.
Ended up with like second-degree burns.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
It was bad.
So of
As PJ
your
maniacally laughs over
so
in the corner.
what's your car count? How many cars have you had in your lifetime? Do you
in
not
the
want to count?
50s.
Does it hurt? 50s?
50s.
The 50s?
Wow. I never thought I'd meet somebody close to my age that was as bad as I was.
What's yours?
I'm like, if I'm not at 40, I'm very close to 40.
Is that counting parts cars too?
Registered. Like, yes, some of them were parts cars, but they all ended up with license plates.
Okay, so if I'm registered cars, it's under 40.
Okay. Yeah, so
But still, that's
yeah,
impressive.
there's not many things that I bought that I didn't drive or register.
I bought a handful of them that were like either just a shell,
Yeah.
like I bought for body parts or subframes or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think my YJ that I have now is really the only thing I am using that I haven't registered.
Yeah.
I didn't register that CJ.
Yeah, the CJ.
Never.
Did you
I never
register,
got
Scrappy?
Yeah.
Scrappy was registered, yeah.
And insured.
It had plates.
Yeah. Well, like technically was supposed to have a safety and emissions.
That's like technically my bus is registered in Winchester.
Yeah.
Your bus.
I have a shuttle bus I converted to a camper.
God damn it.
Hell yeah.
And Pete's just like, I already know all this. This is great.
So another story. I had a
I need to introduce my wife to your wife so she can learn the art of
Just
letting
accepting
me
shit.
yeah, just accepting it.
want to hear the ring dinger.
Oh.
Oh,
She
boy.
bought the bus.
Can we clone your wife?
No. Just copy the brain.
Future Tom Duck.
Thankfully, my wife listens to this on her way to work, and which is in Maryland, so she'll be very far away when she hears
She's
this.
also listening to it upstairs right now.
She's probably asleep.
She's like, I'm
taking
gonna
a nap.
fucking beat him.
She just walked outside.
Yeah. She falls asleep easily these days.
Yeah.
So I had like the end all be all of Cummins. I had a 03 3500 dually automatic with like 60,000 miles on it.
Damn.
Brian just drooled.
Came in his pants.
Yeah.
We had a truck bed camper that we had bought, and I was going to the cove. The whole right side of it blew off.
The truck bed camper.
Yeah. So like we get to camp. I didn't even unload anything yet. I'm like taping up the side of the camper with bags and duct tape. Like, because it's going to be cold and wet and rainy. I'm like, you could see the bed from the outside. It was bad.
Mint.
So got home, like started digging into it. It had so much water damage, it wasn't even worth fixing. So I was like, I somehow convinced her that we need to buy a shuttle bus and convert it into a camper. I took pretty much everything I could salvage out of the camper, sold some stuff, and we bought the bus for $1,500.
Hell yeah.
That's the way
It's
to do
a 07 Chevy shuttle bus.
Duramax, or was it a gasser?
It's a 6-liter with a 480.
Okay.
Tows everything perfectly. Gets 10 miles to the gallon, no matter if it's empty or towing something.
At least it's consistent.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. It's got a bed, sink, fridge, heat.
It's like
it.
one of my
That's
next
dope.
projects.
Damn it.
Yeah.
You've got too many next projects. We shouldn't have introduced you to Freddie.
You
told you this was gonna be dangerous.
You should write a book. You should write a book on how to plan your next project next.
Yeah.
So where do you keep all this stuff? Because
My
you've got
driveway.
How big is your
I
driveway?
guess you don't have an HOA.
No.
It's good.
Well, the shop is 24 by 30,
okay.
and the Chevelle lives in there. The Jeep used to, but now I have a top for it, so it
Nice.
to stay outside. And then the bus, the trailer, her car, the Suburban, and then the Jeep.
Is it just a car trailer?
Yeah,
Enclosed or open?
open.
Oh, nice. Perfect. That's all you need.
It does great.
The bus. Just drop. Oh yeah, I got a camper bus.
Oh, by the way,
And I got a Harley.
Hey, my wife bought it.
Oh, nice.
nobody cares.
So is there? Do you guns,
Oh, yeah.
RCs,
Oh, yeah.
Jeeps,
Yep.
cars,
Yep.
tattoos?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the three of us.
Computers?
Yep.
Okay.
Not as deep. Like I bought a pre-built and just have that. And
My man.
Gaming?
yeah.
Fuck
God damn-
yes.
what do you have all this time?
yes. No.
do you sleep?
No,
No.
not really.
He just
that
has,
answers that question.
He just has the things.
Yeah.
I got to figure out how to not sleep.
I go a couple weeks and then I crash. Like I slept like 11 hours last night.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And then
So did I.
I'll sleep like 4 hours the next
Yeah.
2 weeks.
I think that's what I'm doing wrong. I think I go to bed too early.
Yeah, I'm in bed by like 8 o'clock every night. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I go to bed
That
pretty
sounds
early.
terrible.
I work at 5:30 every day.
Okay. What do you do for work?
Loudoun County school buses.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm a Loudoun County
Driving
building
them or
inspector.
working on them?
Nice. I work on them. Then I get to drive them.
Empty.
And then think about
Yeah.
converting them into the campers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, we're going to need one of those.
I really.
Yeah, if you got a bus that's going to like disappear in the
So-
next week or so.
They leave the keys in them.
Same thing with fire trucks.
Yeah, but there's usually people around
The problem is it's a really short drive from where they park the buses to the jail.
Yeah.
There's a lady that parks one out on. What are the
The lady that
roundabouts?
parks from across the street from me.
I was going to say.
Oh, yeah, there's one.
So the roundabouts out behind Percival.
Oh, okay.
I forget what that road's called. She parks
yeah,
there. They park all over the place. Up here in the Lovettsville Fire Department, they park.
Yep.
But yeah,
So if you want to steal a bus,
Yeah, we just gave you a list of places that are parked.
you didn't hear it here.
but yeah, so I'd found a
Future Freddie Duck.
I'd found a 35-foot pusher, so that's the one with the flat nose.
Yeah.
With a Cummins and an Allison.
Aren't those rear engine?
Some of them. So if you see FE, that's front engine. If you see RE, that's rear engine.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be way deeper dive into how to figure out. Like it was, oh yeah, no, here we let's just like, oh god, here we go.
It's super simple. And you can tell by looking at them too if
The grill's in the back. Yeah.
If they have an open grill, then they have the engine in the front. But my wife was like, that's too big. It's too long. I'm like,
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's huge.
fine. So we bought a shuttle bus.
Yeah.
Nice.
What a compromise.
I mean, the shuttle bus is more manageable because you could hook the trailer up to
Oh
it.
yeah.
True.
It was only a
It fits through a drive-through.
I still would love to convert a bus.
debatable.
Some drive-throughs.
It's pretty tall.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I guess it
lifted?
depends on the shuttle bus.
We should lift it.
So what's your
They do have four-wheel drive
your
versions.
current
Yeah.
project right now? Like, what are you currently working
Lifting a shuttle bus.
So speaking of that,
Uh-oh.
I really want to go to the junkyard and buy 4-wheel drive parts and make it
Yeah.
4-wheel drive.
on? Okay.
Yes.
Super duty axle.
Well, no, just straight up Chevy. Like the control arms bolt on, everything bolts on.
Oh shit.
You just have to.
So
do,
IFS.
yeah, IFS.
That's awesome.
Because I wouldn't be
Are they?
doing.
Is that it's a van chassis, right?
But the front's the same.
So just find another four-wheel drive express. van.
3500
Express.
Chevy truck.
Yeah.
Silverado. Oh, the Silverado fronts bolt onto the front of those.
Yeah.
No shit.
That's a deep dive.
The
How did you
only-
figure that out?
Work actually. The one.
I guess that, yeah.
Because we have like 2 that are the vans.
Yeah.
That are Quigley. And
Loudoun County has Quigley vans.
yeah, they're safety and security.
Quigley does more than just like Dirt Everyday episodes.
I thought Quigley built like I thought Quigley built like cool off-roader stuff.
Yeah, it's called four-wheel drive.
Dirt every day.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, they convert them for
So it's a
practical reasons.
Yeah, so like
they're not just
brawnability.
camper
Okay.
vans. Yeah,
Yeah, I thought they just built like camper vans and shit.
No.
So it's like brawnability. They just do like everything.
yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, the only thing weird figuring out is the transmission cross member, because there's like nothing factory that works. So you either
Okay.
have to,
Fab something.
There's 87 different frames.
yeah, like re-drilling one or moving it or just making your own. That'd probably be easier. But yeah, that's on my list.
You're gonna do a divorce transfer case. You're gonna do because you have to. Depends on the transmission.
You can change the tail housing out.
Depends if it's a solid transmission or not. Because some of the
4L80 should be convertible.
I don't know.
Yeah, because the 4L60 that I have is not. It is two-wheel drive only. So I know some of the
What's-
4L80s are also the same thing.
What's in the Wagoneer? It's a 4L80, isn't it?
the Wagoneer?
Oh, at the shop?
Oh,
yeah.
at the shop.
No, it was a 4L60.
Yeah, but there's also different versions of each trans.
Yeah.
So there may be
Yeah, we started with a four-wheel drive transfer.
I hadn't got that far on my,
your diving sends.
yeah, because if I dive too deep, it's gonna happen.
See, I'm the opposite. I usually dive too deep and talk myself out of it. I'm like, man,
That's because you
it.
realize your ideas are not good.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm going to airbag the truck. The truck will get full air ride
but
suspension. The difference
that's a
is
normal thing.
The difference is I'm not going to keep it independent front suspension now because I realized that's going to be really expensive.
Yeah.
I know how to put airbags together for cheap.
Yeah, well, so like for my Duramax, like trying to keep it four-wheel drive and independent suspension
okay.
and put it on like air struts would be really difficult.
Solid front
I talked to like 4 different airbag companies that were all like, we don't make anything for that, but we can try. And I was like,
That sounds expensive.
sounds like I'm going to do a solid axle swap and just throw bags under it.
It works too.
Yeah, because that is cheap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just straight up bags.
Yeah, I can build radius arms. That's easy. I just have to find one more Dana 60 because the Dana 60 in the side yard that's supposed to go in my Jeep will work great for
My Dana 60 in your side yard that's being
my
traded in
Dana
the swap.
60. Yeah.
Oh, no,
yeah.
it's his now.
It's our Dana 60.
Then don't hurt my 8.8.
Your 8.8 is fine. I hurt
8.8's
everything
are
else around
great.
it. Yeah.
They like to break drive shafts.
No, that wasn't it. That was a user error. I broke everything but the drive shaft yesterday.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, how was yesterday?
Good. It was fun.
Tom blew his motor up.
We're not sure if it's the motor or the trans now. Yesterday I thought it was the
Or
motor.
transfer case.
It's probably not the transfer case. Transfer case would have made a lot of noise, and
True.
parts would have exited.
As we know.
There was a little bit of happy throttle, and then
Gave it
there
to
was a
Beans.
lot of not moving, and then the engine shut off, and the engine just clunks now
We're at
at the Cove.
like, well, what trail are you on?
It was like Timber Trail where the mud
Yeah,
whoops
we were-
are.
It was more of an access road.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was we just had a good trail run, and we were going to the next trail, and I was like, I haven't really put my foot into this V8 yet. What? Oh, it's pretty quick. Oh shit! It just shut off.
In fact, the exact words were, "We go fast." What? And that's basically what happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then he went to turn it, and it just went.
The motor, we can spin the motor backwards by hand, but
not
then
forwards.
if you go forward, it'll if you go 4 turns back, it'll go 4 turns forward and stop. So I'm thinking either jump timing, dropped a valve, broke. I don't think it broke a rod. I mean, it could have.
There may potentially be no oil in it.
Well, the dipstick's broken. That doesn't mean there's no oil in it.
There may potentially be no
I was
oil in it.
so I had to bring my tools over. I parked nose to nose with his Jeep. He pops the hood of my Jeep and pulls my dipstick out. I'm like, "What are you doing?" Well, my dipstick's broken.
To be fair, that was, according to Brian, that was the funniest thing that happened all day because he's sitting there trying to break the tip off.
I'm trying
of
to
your
use my antenna. I'm trying to use my antenna as a dipstick.
Him and Brian are sitting there bending, and I just go,
Four mechanics
we've got
standing
4
around.
other vehicles here. We could just
Literally
borrow a
anybody else's
dipstick.
dipstick. Except for the fact that the second half of my dipstick is still in the tube, so you can't stick anything down the tube.
Kind of a problem.
Nice.
Yeah, we got 2 trails done, but we did both trails both ways.
Okay, which trails?
It was like Timber Trail, which is like a rock climb up. Then we did the New Bears Den,
Okay.
which New Bears Den was
Gnarly.
a good trail.
Yeah.
They were both.
Yeah, that'll
we,
be a good one.
We were on set like 7s,
yeah.
like
so
Blue
you're like up
Blacks.
behind Camp 6?
Camp 6 for the first
Timber,
one,
yeah.
for
Yep.
Timber Trail, and then Bears Den is over by BS Jeepers and Canyon and V Trail.
I love V-Trail.
Yeah, that was gonna be the next one. So I had a plan of doing the 2 trails we did, and then if we had got those done before lunch, which we could have if we would have been moving at a decent rate, but we weren't.
Yeah, we
were gonna do V
Our
Trail.
buddies
then,
that were with us are relatively new.
yeah. Then we were gonna do
So we
V
took a lunch
Trail and
break.
then down
Lot of-
Moose and then
lot of
maybe
cable.
up Quorum.
We've stopped and made coffee on the side of the trail.
Yeah.
Tim would lose his
Oh
mind.
no.
Tim would have lost. If you had stopped to make a cup of coffee, Tim would have had a fucking conniption.
I like to-
Mostly
I like to
because
be
you just
behind
quit
the wheel.
coffee, so it would have been like double trouble. of
so
like,
I
you're taking the time.
I blow my motor up. We stop. Everyone goes, "Wow, this would be a great time for lunch." Lauren starts opening up 18 different cheeses on the hood on PJ's Jeep,
Nice.
and Tim goes, "All right, let's get him off the trail so we can go back to trail riding." And everybody's like mid sandwich, like, "Huh?"
Oh, I'm all
I'm
about
still
trail
trying to figure out
miles.
what happened. I'm like, maybe I can fix it. I don't really know. Tim's like, we're moving on. We're moving on.
Yeah,
Leave him
as-
behind.
As Lauren has like 18 Tupperwares open.
Yeah.
Nice.
The whole laying out the picnic blanket.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah, man.
I like to cover trail miles.
That was the best trail lunch ever.
Can you imagine what would have happened though, like halfway through not being blown up if somebody would just be like, hey, I gotta stop and brew some coffee?
Yeah, we had planned it out like we were at the top of the mountain. And I figured
Okay.
we were just on one of the access
Still
trails.
doesn't fly for Tim.
Yeah, Tim doesn't ever plan any stopping in
No.
his trail rides.
Nope. The one trip when we had with Quist where we did 8 hours in the trail and stopped once for lunch.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
That's with
It was
seasoned
it was a 15
drivers.
And
15
on,
minute
on
stop.
green trails.
Not when you have a driver that has 2 children in his vehicle.
And also has only ever been wheeling once in his life. I'm just glad both of their winches worked.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they had winches, actually. That did make it a little easier.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, winches. Your guys' one podcast about like light bars versus lockers.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
The
whole-
age-old question.
A winch for me is like
Yeah.
that's first
yeah.
because it
Winch over pretty much everything.
yeah because
Winch
if
and
you don't
skid
have
plates.
lockers, they can get you out.
Yeah.
If someone else doesn't have lockers, you can get them out.
Our mentality was always like, we know who we wheel with, and there's other people that have winches, so it's not necessarily at the top of the list.
Yeah, for us
Because we
at
always
least.
know someone's gonna have one.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely if you're fresh off the boat, kind of
Yeah.
Definitely add a winch to that bumper.
So who do you go wheeling with?
A couple guys out of Winchester. Do you know the guys that run Greenway Welding?
Yeah, down on 340.
Yep.
I don't know them, but I see the shop all the time.
There's two brothers and a dad, and we go wheeling with them a lot.
Nice.
The one's got, well, the two of them have CJ7s and then a TJ.
Hell yeah.
And then my one buddy, he now lives in Richmond. He's got a 1-ton Bronco on 40s. And then another guy's got a YJ 4-liter 5-lug Samurais and a couple other rigs.
Nice. Nice.
Damn it.
All locked, all big tires.
For the most part, the Samurai wheels the balls off of everything with like 31s.
Yeah.
Like those things are the best. They're fun.
I can never get the picture of this Samurai out of my head at the Cove that tried to do the rock pile, and he got about 6 inches up in the air and then just
fell over.
right over on the side, and like 73 beer cans just shot out of the back of the vehicle.
Was it
Yeah.
black?
Pink.
Oh, that can't be mine.
Was it pink?
Yeah. It was great. And the dude just sat in there. They were like, "Are you good?" He's like, "What happened?"
They are a little top heavy.
So what are you working on currently? What's your current project?
I need to fix the Chevelle.
Fix the Chevelle. How'd you
So,
break the Chevelle?
went to
I mean, it makes sense how you broke the Chevelle because of what it is, but
Went to Drift Nirvana. I didn't drive. We just went and hung out. Leaving Drift Nirvana, I got a little pedal happy. And
Sounds familiar.
it felt really weird when I did it, so I did it again.
Sounds familiar.
Step one in the diagnostic process.
Do it again.
Replicate problem.
There you go.
It still drove fine, but every time I would yank on it, it would just like pull to the right. And I was like, oh, I broke an axle. Because it's got a winner's quick change in it.
yep.
And each shaft is just the shaft. Like it goes into splines in the spool and then hub.
So it's like a free float.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, I roached a axle shaft. So I get home. We go to Ruby Tuesdays and eat first. That's
Oh, yeah.
priority number one.
Ruby Tuesdays, fresh and fruity.
And I pull the hubs off, and the passenger side was just gone in the spool.
Yeah.
So bought a new spool. I haven't fixed it yet
Nice.
because I've got to pull the whole axle out, stand it up on its side, and then it unbolts like a sandwich.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's got the
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not like a
those
modern
are
differential
those
pull.
are relatively affordable too.
Debatable.
I've seen a few for a few of the quick changes for not horribly expensive.
So brand new, they're really expensive.
Oh yeah.
Like to buy a new aluminum spool was like $300, which for what it
Doesn't
is,
sound that
is
expensive.
Yeah.
well, to me, for what it is, it's very expensive.
Yeah, for just a solid
Because
sheet.
it's like
of,
this big. It's small.
yeah.
And
Well, the whole housings are relatively affordable used, I think.
yeah, I paid
Still don't feel like
$300
it's
for the
that
one that's
expensive.
under it.
Yeah.
Found out it was broken. The guy gave me $150 back.
Nice. It's good, dude.
So that worked out pretty good. So the spool was already questionable. Like the bearings on the side, you could just slide them on and off.
Good.
So I
Quality.
just put Loctite on them and it goes together.
That works.
And I put 1,000 miles on it, and I beat the shit out of it.
Do you use the quick change like it's designed to
I
be
haven't
used?
yet. I bought a set of gears because it's only a 4-speed, and I borrowed a set of gears from my buddy that dirt tracks, and it equaled out to be like, I want to say 486 on the dot. And I was like, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah. That's a lot of gear.
It's a lot of gear.
And I drove it like that to the gas station, and it would roast the tires in fourth.
Sure, Percival police love that.
They stopped and were like, what is this? I need to know about it.
No, you don't. You got a warrant.
It's registered and insured, right?
I don't
As a
answer
Chevelle?
questions.
So I did that, and then I put a set of gears in it to make it like a 331, and I can highway drive 80 at like 2,500 RPM.
Damn.
That's not bad.
But yeah, so the first time I drove it to the gas station,
Only where you can legally do 80 miles.
Yeah, only Mexico. Yeah.
only Mexico. So
That's 80 kilometers. if
Yeah.
anyone was
Yeah.
wondering.
Yeah.
No front end, like no headlights, nothing.
Those
Drove
are
it to the
optional.
gas station.
You got wipers?
No.
No.
No back glass, no door windows, nothing.
That's a Tom special right there.
So
Race you in my YJ when I fix it.
I pull in, I'm putting gas in it. I see 2 cops drive by. I'm like, oh boy. And the one like puts his windows down and is looking at me. And I'm like, I'm just working out some bugs.
It's a test drive.
And like I see him go through, he turns around, pulls back in behind me. He gets out real quick. He's like, you're not in trouble, I just want to look at it. He starts telling me like he had a 74 Nova and all these cars when he was younger. He's like, this thing's cool. Can I see you leave? I was like, oh boy.
Because I want to chase you.
Can you?
So like,
Do you have to?
like 295 spooled diff. Like I'm pulling out just,
It's the slowest that thing ever drove.
and I was still working out idle issues because with the Holly, the only thing that it doesn't self-learn is hot and cold starts.
Okay.
So like you got to kind of tune that in depending on where you live and what temperatures you drive in and stuff. And I hadn't worked out the hot start yet, so I was just cranking. And then it
With the
fired.
cops standing there watching you.
Yeah, no, it cranked up. It was all loaded up, and it's got a quarter panel exhaust.
Shooting flames.
No, I don't know.
Gotta drive it at night and find out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of the most anxiety causing things is when you get pulled over by a cop.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, you're good. I just want to look at you. Like, don't look too hard, please. I was driving my...
Please, you can look. Don't call your supervisor.
I was 19 years old driving my Camaro around Ashburn because that's where I built it at my dad's house. And like going down Belmont Ridge Road, I was sitting at a light. A cop had someone pulled over. The guy had just left that he pulled over. Cop looks at me and points and goes like this. I'm like, oh, fuck no. God damn it. He's like, I go over there, pull up behind him. He goes, I just wanted to look at it. I'm like, I fucking hate you. I'm so mad. He goes, I could write you a ticket. I'm like, oh, God damn it. He's like, because the exhaust didn't exit from under the car. I'm like, you motherfucker. Didn't write me a ticket, but I was freaking out the whole time.
I've gotten lucky. I never really had, for as like sketchy of cars that I've driven around, I've really never had anybody stop me.
Yeah.
Like I remember leaving the Cove.
Because you drive them with confidence.
Sure. I remember leaving the Cove with Scrap Heap and like Sparky
That
riding
one always
shotgun.
blew my mind.
Sparky riding shotgun, the bumper strapped to the roof, the dead inspection sticker in the window. I got all the windows down, all the camping gear piled in the back of this thing. 2 broken taillights, one headlight zip tied on, the other one dangling after 3 days at the Cove.
You know what that was?
Music is cranked. I'm like, I'm bopping along. Fucking Frederick County Sheriff pulls up right next to me at the red light. I'm like,
You know what that was?
light turns green. I'm like, dude, that guy could have got his year's salary paid off in one traffic stop.
That dude looked at you with your dog in the car and all your shit and went, his life's hard enough. I'm not going to pull him over.
Fair. You're not wrong.
I've had some really close calls. Like, so I drive the Chevelle to work. I just work in Percival, so it's like a mile and a half. So I drove it to work one day. We all go to lunch. We leave Casa Tequila.
Nice.
It's very good.
So good.
They have quesadilla tacos, if you didn't know.
I did not.
I know where Trevor's going tonight.
They're very good. So we leave, and of course I yank on the Chevelle, like full sideways, like 2 foot long tire marks.
I mean, that's
each
why you
side.
built it, right?
Yeah. And then my coworker's behind me on his bike. He's weaving back and forth, and then all of a sudden there's a cop behind us, and I'm like,
Shit.
I'm done. But no.
I'm done.
yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah,
That's
because
it.
he just went, damn, okay.
So the only time I've actually ever been pulled over in the Camaro is because of a broken windshield.
Which is ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the times I have been pulled over and gotten tickets for
It's been bad.
It's like, wow, where were you 5 miles ago?
But the car didn't have a hood. I was running the taillights with a horn button on the center console because I didn't wire it up to the brake pedal. So every time I hit the brakes, I'd have to
Hit the
hit the button so the lights would come on. And the cop was just like, just get your windshield fixed. I'm like, what?
You're so bad at your job,
What
dude.
is even going on?
I think he was just overwhelmed by all the bullshit.
Well, my mom was in front of me running block in front, and my dad was behind me in the CJ7 running block.
Well, yeah,
Doing a shitty job.
that worked out real well.
They didn't
Didn't
block
it?
much.
No.
Yeah, it was when we bought the Cherokee Chief and broke down on Route 7. Like,
yeah.
there have been so many times that like we could have, like, I could have had shit impounded and like just
Driving the
license
Cherokee
revoked on
through
the
the police
spot.
stop.
Have you heard that story about the Cherokee Chief?
No, I don't think so.
I bought a
fucking
Cherokee
good
Chief
one.
off Facebook Marketplace. Him and our other buddy Tom Walk go to this guy's house in Great Falls to look at it. And like he was asking like $1,500 for it. Said he couldn't get it to run right. We fixed it with like 2 zip ties. Tim cost me like $300 because I'm like in my head I'm like, oh, I'm buying this thing for $500, whatever. Tim was, oh, let me see a zip tie. He zip ties the throttle cable.
No, it was a fuel line. The
Fuel
was
line,
kinked.
fuel line had a kink in it. All of a sudden the thing runs great. Take it for a test drive. I'm like, great, now I got to buy it for $1,000. Like,
Nice.
end up buying it and we're driving it home. I lived in Ashburn at the time too. And we are going down Route 7 from Great Falls, trying to get to Ashburn at rush hour, and the thing just shuts off in the middle of the road. And it's like the one section of Route 7 where there's no shoulder. So now there's like 3 of us like under the hood trying to get this thing to run. It is one of the highlights, I think,
yeah.
of our Jeep journey so far.
The end of that story is you didn't have free towing with your insurance, and I did.
Yeah.
So I called my USAA insurance
Yeah.
and got a tow truck for his vehicle.
Perfect.
I think the other really good part of that, though, is I was working for Dent Wizard at the time. And
you had
I
to-
had my mobile paint truck, and like I was driving the paint truck behind it. Him and Tom was in
driving-
front. You were driving the Jeep, and it all craps out, and Tom had to leave. So like I pull the Dent Wizard truck up in front of it and hook a tow strap to the bumper of the paint truck to the front of this thing and tow it to the nearest shoulder with the Dent Wizard. I mean, like 3,500 van with a box on the back, just yanking it down the road. No plates, nothing. It was so good.
Bought a Subaru in Morgantown once and drove it through Morgantown with no headlights, front bumper, anything, no tags, no registration.
Yeah.
I was like,
Are you
18.
even? Yeah, I was. Are you even a car guy if you didn't drive something without license plates on it?
I think
usually-
that's a Morgantown special. I think that happens almost every day, though.
yeah, I was.
Isn't that part of the driving
terrified,
test?
though. You drive this illegal car across town.
Yeah.
Illegally.
Are you a Northern Virginia local? Or you imported from somewhere?
Imported.
Imported? I don't know. What do you call them?
Transplants, I think.
Transplant. Yeah, I don't know.
No, we're going with imported.
You look JDM to me.
GDM as fuck.
I mean, he did have an Eclipse and an RX-7.
Yeah, exactly. And a Subaru.
And a Subaru,
He
yeah.
is
Many
JDM.
Subarus. I just sold a
Do you
Subaru.
vape?
No. I don't.
Ah,
He smokes weed like a man.
easy.
I wish.
We gotta get wireless
Bud?
headphones.
Or you got to stop moving your feet around.
I have ADD.
The coffee was supposed to cure that.
It did.
No, clearly not.
So I'm
I
taking
thought it
a
was
nap.
ADHD when you fidget.
Yes.
He's not officially
All the above.
diagnosed.
I don't know what HD is, but I got
80 of them.
That's me.
I'm definitely undiagnosed, self-diagnosed ADHD.
I'm officially diagnosed.
Oh, really? With 19 hobbies? I couldn't tell.
It's bad. But no, I
Hyperfixation.
came from Western Maryland, and my wife came from Kaiser, West Virginia.
Okay. So you're local enough.
Yeah, we grew up like 2 hours from here.
Okay. How'd you end up in Purcellville? Was it the job?
Well, we started out in Winchester,
Okay.
and she had always worked here in Purcellville, and then moved to Inwood for a little while, and then I got on at Loudoun County, and she's like, "We're moving.
Yeah.
Tired of commuting."
Makes
So we
sense.
ended up in Purcellville.
Nice. Nice.
I've been here for about 4 years,
Oh, yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Pretty much the whole time of COVID. Just before COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the July before COVID hit. And then COVID hit, and we're like, oh,
That's what we did too.
Yeah, so you picked a good time.
We came in the September before COVID.
Yeah.
it's bad now. Houses have gone up like $300,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good thing
equity, man.
because I own it.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Trying to think what.
What other questions you got?
I forget.
You got any questions for us?
This is might be a weird one, but if you were to know what you know now and you start over with a rig, like you've
Oh.
never wheeled anything, like, but you know everything you know now, like all the parts and all that stuff, what would you buy?
Buggy.
They're fun.
I'd want something unique.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't get a Jeep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get a Toyota.
I think I'd stick with my Comanche.
I'd build something that's not everyone has. Like, I love my Cherokee to death. My Cherokee is a great little vehicle, but it's the same as every other Cherokee out there.
That's why I stick with my Comanche.
That's what we've heard from.
It's unique enough.
Like, people we've had on. One person, Robert Keller. He's like, if you want to be noticed by Ultimate Adventure or like by anybody, it can't be a Jeep.
Yeah.
And it can't be like your run-of-the-mill Toyota either. It's got to be something special.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go like a cool square body. Probably a Chevy square body, but a cool square body.
Yeah. See that tow truck?
Yeah.
That thing's awesome.
The Matt's off-road recovery tow truck?
No, the like tow truck that has like 35s on it or something. Single cab. It's got the crane bed on it. Yeah.
Where's that at?
I don't know. It's out in Utah somewhere.
Hell yeah.
California, maybe.
I know we saw Matt's off-road recovery truck
That's the
at
yellow one, right?
SEMA. Yeah, the yellow one on like 52s. That one was sweet. Is it the one in Moab? I think I know what you're talking. It's got a dually rear axle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually like a Moab recovery vehicle.
Oh, it's like a legit.
Yeah. It's
one of
his,
the actual tow
And the dude
companies.
wheels the shit out of it.
he wheels the piss
Yeah.
out of it. His I think his Facebook page picture is like it's like 7 feet in the air because he's jumping it. Yeah, it's sweet. What would you, Tom? What would you build?
He's watching the Bills. He can't answer.
No. I would say I feel like I'm kind of at that point right now where like I'm starting over with the YJ
Yeah,
because it
but you got the YJ for a deal. That's why you ended up in the YJ.
yeah, but like where I want to take it is my now that I know what I know situation.
Yeah.
Like I would definitely I'm kind of in line with PJ on like a buggy. Like I would definitely build something for what I want and what I want to do versus buying something and then making it work.
Yeah.
Like Scrap Heap was a great for what it was, but I just cobbled it together to make it work versus I'm going after specific things. As far as the platform, I don't think I care.
Yeah.
But like I definitely am at the point of like bigger power and more pizzazz than function.
Boom
Yeah.
pows.
Yeah.
How about you, Freddie? Of
I mean, like,
for what category? Car, truck, bus.
it'd be like for a truck, I'm like opposite ends. I think I'd either pick a Geo Tracker
Oh yeah.
Okay.
or a square body.
Yeah.
That's pretty opposite ends.
Because I've wheeled a stock tracker at the Cove, and it is insanely fun.
It's a side by side.
Yeah,
It's crazy how people
You know
think
what?
they
Screw
need to
this
have.
Jeep thing. I'm going side by side.
People think they need to have modified rigs to have fun off road.
no, it
Like
was
the most fun I see people have is in stock
Yeah.
vehicles.
and like we were going along, and like the real rocky trail. It's just like an access trail before you get to like Berkeley Springs.
Yeah. Yep.
Like we were bouncing around on that, and my buddy's in front of me in his Bronco. I just like bounce off into the woods, like not even on a trail,
Yep.
just going through. It was so fun.
Plucky little mountain goat.
Was that your vehicle or was
Yeah.
that?
I got it for free.
God damn it!
I need better friends. You guys don't give me any cars for free.
Just give you a hard
You're
time.
supposed to supply us.
No.
I had done some work for a buddy at his shop. And he was like, I can either give you $500 or this tracker. I was like, I'll take the
I'll
tracker.
take
I'll take the
Tracker.
tracker. Oh yeah.
And I dailyed it for like 6 months.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's worth every penny.
Yeah, and then we moved, and I was like, I gotta get rid of it because it wasn't that safe. It was pretty unsafe.
It's a relative term.
So of the cars you've had, which one would you buy again or
was
keep
it- I
forever?
was gonna say, what do
of
you want
your-
back?
or
Yeah.
What do you want back, or which of your cars now is that vehicle?
I think the Chevelle's there, just because of what it is
Yeah,
and how much bloody time I've got into it.
Yeah.
that's how I feel. I would give everything away to keep my Camaro.
The shuttle bus I'd redo with either something 4-wheel drive or a bigger bus.
Okay.
We need to
You-
make
you-
a monster
You got
truck school bus.
a hitch receiver on that, so you can pull your garbage
Yeah.
with it.
So I bought a hitch specific for it, and it was like 6 inches off the ground.
Oh shit.
So I bought a utility body hitch and welded it on, and it's rated for like 16,000 pounds.
Hell yeah.
But it tows everything great. It's hilarious. I bought the Suburban and towed the Suburban home. Because that's a funny story. Like, you saw the picture. It's got 120,000 miles on it. Nice paint. Like, full black
Damn.
leather. PJ's seen it. How nice is it?
Very nice.
What do you think I paid for it?
Knowing you as I do now for the hour and a half that I've known you,
$125.
$1,500.
I wish. It was
Traded a bubble gum and
$395.
Yeah.
$4,200.
Still not bad.
So the guy had it posted for 7,000. I was selling my Forester. It gets better. I was selling my Forester at the time. That pops up on Marketplace. I'm like, hey, long shot. I'm selling this. Would you be interested in trading? He's like, no, I'm just trying to get rid of cars have less. I was like, all right, I'll get a hold of you if I sell
that
it.
goes.
Sell the Subaru. I get like $4,700 out of it. I'm sitting at dinner table. I see that guy lowers his price to 5,000.
Oh hell
I
yeah.
hit him up. I was like, would you take 4,700? I'll be there tomorrow. This is like Wednesday, like middle of the week.
So you
And-
call that sick from work,
Oh yeah. So he messages back. He's like, actually,
loaded up the shuttle bus.
he was like, actually, I'll take 4,200. The headlights stopped working today. I was like, what?
That's
So
that's
he-
not
That's a
an
gentleman
$800
and a
fix.
scholar.
That's not an $800 fix. No matter how bad it is.
I was like, well, I'll be there in the morning. I leave my house at
I'll be there 10 minutes.
4:30. He's in Alexandria. I drive all the
my
way down
neck
to
of the woods.
Alexandria. pick
Where in
it up.
Alexandria was it?
I couldn't tell you.
Damn.
In Alexandria.
Somewhere.
Alexandria's just one place to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Load it up on the trailer. Get back.
It's a lot bigger than Ashburn.
He was like, it's got an intake leak and the headlights don't work. I was
Oh,
like-
man. 3,900 all day.
So I give him $4,200, gives me a title, the keys. I load it up. I had to take my fenders off the trailer because it's too wide. I made my fenders removable when I had the Fummins because it was too wide. So that worked out good. Get home. I'm in like rush hour traffic, 25-foot long shuttle bus, Suburban hanging off the trailer.
Sounds like a Beltway dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible. Get home, and like on square bodies, the headlights were just powered straight through the switch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Someone had put that relay harness in. That relay harness was unplugged at the connector.
That's it.
Every time.
That's all it was.
So that saved you $500 was a really. That's awesome.
I thought for sure it was going to be like the high beam dimmer switch on the floor.
Nope, it doesn't have that, unfortunately.
No.
oh.
So he did the smart thing and didn't fix it on premises and
Yeah.
saved himself the money.
Yeah. We learn from our mistakes, right, Tim?
Yes, we do.
And
Well, because remember when the one guy popped up on Facebook? Remember it was the security.
Yeah, we talked.
And we were like, do we do the right thing and just tell him it's probably the security module?
Oh,
or
yeah.
do we just show up, not fix it, drive 15 minutes
you
up
know
the
what
road,
irony is?
plug it in?
Had
and
I
drive
bought that,
home?
I'd already have a motor to fix the YJ.
Oh, you would.
Yeah. Damn.
Womp womp.
so yeah, and then
Should've bought that
I was
thing.
working on it yesterday, and that snowballed because the brakes started making noise on like Wednesday. I was like, all right, I'll slap pads on it. The rotors on it are like that thick.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh, PJ knows that life.
you can pad slap them all day and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
So I get it apart. The right front pad has worn all the way down into the metal,
Oh,
Oh, I did that. Yeah, yeah.
and then the left front caliper was locked up.
nice.
So
Yes,
I did
80s.
that on my Sonata. I'm like, oh, the brakes are squealing. I'll get to it in a week. And then like 3 weeks later, the brakes were grinding. I'm like, fuck, I should probably
it was
do
like
brakes.
3 days. And
Yeah.
so yeah,
Gotta love
yesterday
it.
snowballed. It turned into an all day affair.
I'm sure the wife loved that one.
Pads, rotors, calipers, whole bank account.
That
Yep.
or wheeling, right?
Do what?
It's either that or wheeling.
Yeah. I was like, I'm either here working on this or I'm in the cove.
Breaking,
been at the Cove.
breaking my shit.
Yeah.
We'll get another
expensive
trips in,
either
though.
way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I was just gonna drive the
So-
YJ out to the cove.
I would just drive it out there and ride with someone.
No, I was gonna wheel the YJ.
Oh, you're gonna wheel it? Okay. Yeah, it was a good day.
Yeah.
We like I said, we got 2 trails, but both trails were both ways, and I kind of just beat the shit out of everything. My XJ did great. Tom's shit died.
It was doing great until it died.
He was doing way better than the first
It
time.
was, yeah.
The Rubicon was better than the driver, but it was the driver's first trip.
Yeah.
And we had a Sahara
We'll call
with
it
a limited slip.
Yeah.
And he was.
I think he's got a limited slip up front, too.
You think so?
I was watching his front wheels like, zzz,
Have the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did great.
Or his spider gears are walking over themselves and locking up. It's one or the other.
Details.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Either way, it's technically a limited slip, I guess.
So how many rigs were there?
That was it.
That was it. 5 down to 4.
Oh, yeah.
We met up with Lee and Brent for a minute, but we
Yeah.
were going too slow, so they left us.
Yeah, and I saw Tommy was with them.
Yep. Yeah, he broke.
Oh,
And so did the other
Broke a
guy.
drive shaft.
And then so did Leah.
The other guy broke something, and Leah broke a carrier.
dang.
What trails did they hit that they all broke?
Lisa's trail.
Yeah, they were running a log bridge.
So when I called her, they were at the top of V Trail, and 5 minutes later they were down with us.
So
That
I
tracks.
broke my drive shaft on Donkey.
You went into Donkey?
Oh, yeah,
On
the
which
Fummins.
vehicle? The Fummins?
Yeah.
Jesus
I
Christ.
got like halfway up Donkey and broke the rear drive shaft.
Sounds like we need to make another trip.
yeah.
And
Okay, I gotta
So, like-
fix my shit first.
and then my buddy runs out of gas next to me. So we've got one rig left. He's like, okay, I'm done. Turns around, gets to the bottom of the trail. I get turned around, pull my yoke out, or pull the drive shaft apart. And then, like, if you go down, like, all the way down Donkey, and then you go past not Donkey,
Bunny
past
Hole.
Bunny Hole. And if you don't make the right onto Berkeley,
Yep.
you can just keep going.
Yeah, it's
down,
a down lower pinnacle.
Yeah.
down behind
Yeah.
Camp 4. Mm-hmm. So we were just going to hit the gate and go out on the main road.
Yep.
The gate was locked.
Oh. So you have to go
Damn.
behind Camp 4 through the mud?
Yes.
Yikes.
Yes.
We were there for 6 hours.
Yikes.
Yes.
Was it a day trip? Or was
No,
it?
we were there. We were
You
camping.
camping? Okay. Yeah, if it was a day trip, that'd be rough.
Because I'm front wheel drive only with a 6,000 pound truck.
Sounds like Bam Bam.
It was miserable.
Yeah, that mud pit.
God.
I had a group. We call them the Baltimore Boys. They were out with me. I went to a Big Dogs once, and I was guiding them. And someone said they wanted mud, so I took them to that spot behind Camp 4. And guess what? He's never asked for again.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm like, you want mud?
Because
I'll
that
give you some
I was
fucking
like,
mud.
because
God damn.
behind
it wasn't
Camp
that
4
the chronic issue that killed his JK?
Yeah.
That
No.
eventually led you to trading it in?
that was Lisa's hole. But that mud pit burned out Tom Walk's winch.
That's what it was.
It's killed numerous vehicles, but that is literally the place. Anytime someone goes, I love mud, bitch, you're gonna find out
Yeah, we're
today.
gonna end that.
I will break you.
Because you take them back there and they're just like, yeah, you don't like mud anymore, do you? No.
So I was there, I want to say it was early November or December, with a couple buddies that have 3-wheelers.
Okay.
I took my dad's 4-wheeler, and all weekend the one guy was like, I want mud. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't.
Not
want
here,
mud."
you don't.
Not yet, I hear.
So he was on a Polaris 4-wheeler like me, and then everybody else was on 3-wheelers.
Like the old Honda 3-wheelers?
Yeah, those dudes
Hell
are
yeah.
fucking
The
nuts.
ATC death traps.
So like, we stayed in camp 7. What's the one before 6 on the left?
10.
10. So we stayed there, and like you can bounce around a lot.
Oh, yeah.
right there. So we were like,
Yeah, because you can cut through to 6 and up the mountain.
we were going up 6, up through the mountain, coming back down into 10, and then we went up like U-turn hard, U-turn
Yep,
easy. We
yep.
did those, which trails on a 4-wheeler at the Cove are
Hell no. We saw people out there yesterday. It was 30 degrees running ATVs on the
And
trails.
like purposely running a mud hole back and forth
Yeah.
on
So, like,
ATVs.
Like I couldn't imagine ATVs nice in the summer because there's so much rock. Absolutely not.
So we ran Pinnacle, and what do you know it? A 3-wheeler broke. It's the top of Pinnacle. So we're pulling him down Pinnacle. Same deal. We can't get out to the main road because of the gate. I'm not taking a broken 3-wheeler down Berkeley
No, absolutely not.
because it's steep
It's
as hell.
steep. And that turn at the end will kill you.
So we get down in behind Camp 4, get stuck again. And I'm like, here's that mud you wanted. The guy was like, no, I don't
I'm
want this
good.
mud."
Just picked it up and carried it over.
Pretty much. It was rough. But yeah, that Camp 4 mud is the worst.
The worst. It's worse than Camp 6 mud. because Camp 6 mud, you know that there's a hole there,
Yeah.
and you don't go and hit it.
Well, and that's-
Camp 4
it's
mud,
also-
people are like, "Oh, it doesn't look that bad," and they put a stick in it.
It's like quicksand.
And it's got-
because
it's-
all the leaves float on top of it.
behind-
well, it's also got the false hard bottom.
Yeah.
The
So
behind
you-
6 is also way more open. Like that little area behind Camp 4 is so compact,
And there's, like,
that you get
just
3-4
trail after
vehicles
trail,
in there.
yeah.
All of a sudden, you're like, I got to go that way. You're in my way. Well, I can't fucking move. So
My buddy buried the front of his TJ into one. He like dropped off
Yep.
one of the lines.
Yep.
Yeah.
And his whole winch just goes into
Yep.
the mud.
gone forever.
Yeah, and all of a
It's
sudden,
like losing a boot.
everything's up to the windshield, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Oh man.
Oh man,
Oh, the Cove.
the Cove.
This makes me want to go wheeling again. I'm gonna hop on Facebook, see if I can find myself a 5.2 V8.
Absolutely not.
So wait, what do you have that has a 5.2 V8?
My YJ.
Okay.
It's a 94
Oh.
Grand Cherokee V8 in it.
Nice.
And that's like
With a Dodge Dakota ECU.
yeah. Yeah, if you ever use that 318 or 5.2, whatever you want to call it, as a swap motor, just find a Dodge ECU, like the OBD1 ECUs for it, because the Jeeps had immobilizers, and as soon as the ECU loses voltage, it locks it.
Oh wow.
And good luck finding somebody to reflash an OBD1 ECU these days.
But the
Yeah,
Dakota one doesn't.
Yeah, the Dodge Dakotas did not have the immobilizer, so
Nice. Good to know.
yeah, fun fact for our listeners.
Can I talk to you about our Lord and Savior, the 2.5 liter?
yeah, hell
I
yeah.
have one sitting in my garage that came out of the YJ that is reserved for my future flat fender project. Yeah, I have a 2.5 AX5 that came out of that Jeep that I got with the Jeep when I
Oh, I didn't
bought
realize
it.
that came with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what was in that chassis originally. Nick just emptied his garage into the back of my truck, basically.
Ain't nothing wrong with
And I
that.
was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. And then I was looking at flat fenders. What I was like, I want a flat fender. I was like, ooh, if I put a fuel-injected 4-banger, 5-speed, and a flat fender, that's a daily driver all day.
Sure.
Love the 2.5. Hate
Yeah.
the AX5.
Yeah, the X5 is garbage.
It's bad.
Yeah. That's like the only reason the 4-cylinder YJs are hated is because of the transmission.
Well, you can swap an AX15 in
Yeah.
pretty easily.
Yeah.
Or you can run a Toyota Trans, but then you've got to run a Toyota axle up front. And it just gets
Yeah,
hairy.
let's do an X15. They're plentiful.
The Toyota Transits bolt up to the back of the.
Yeah, so an AX5 and an R154 are the same.
Yeah.
Huh.
So you can either take the AX5 case and put the Toyota stuff in it, or you can take a R154 and put it in. But then you've got to run. So you can run
The
dual
Toyota transfer cases.
Toyota transfer cases. But
This
you've
might
got
be a dumb question.
passenger drop.
I was going to say it's a passenger
okay.
drop then, isn't it? I have a passenger drop Waggy 44. And I have an old CJ frame that's a little twisted.
That's my plan with the YJ is to run a Waggy front.
You want one? I got one in the yard.
Is it passenger drop?
Yeah.
There? Then I got to do a Toyota Trans.
Hey, well, you're halfway there. I even got an AX5 you can use.
Oh,
Trying to clean out my yard.
second and third that grinds and no fifths.
Yeah.
Perfect. Sounds like a great running vehicle.
It's still, it runs great. It's fine.
Send it.
Oh, boy.
Hell yeah, man. Is there anything you want to promote or say before we get out of here?
Well, I don't know.
Social media,
Yeah.
sponsors.
I hear you like
Anything?
boots.
Yeah. I'm wearing some Brunt boots. They sent me some boots and a hoodie, and they're a pretty good company. You guys use FF10, you get $10 off.
There you go.
There you go. Hell
Only
yeah.
$10.
Yeah.
Jeez.
This episode sponsored by Brunt Boots. They just don't know it.
Yeah.
Send the check.
Send the check, Brunt Boot. Or no,
No, send the boots.
Send the
Send the
boots.
Hell
With
yeah.
Dirt Nerds logos.
Yeah, I need new boots. I mean, I don't, but I do.
New boots are always good.
Yeah.
Just new boot goofing.
New boots. So
Three
many
easy payments.
Hell yeah.
$3.99.
Free 99.
free 99. Genuine.
Ostrich.
Genuine ostrich. 3 payments.
Yeah, check me out on Instagram, Fidget Fred. I do
Such a good
sort of
name.
cool stuff.
Yeah, a lot of RC stuff. We didn't really get into the RC stuff a
No,
lot.
we started to, and then
Yeah.
we got distracted by
Fuck it, let's go back. Let's go back to RC stuff.
Well, what do you want to know?
Why?
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. We got distracted by the Power Wheel Samurai.
We did, yeah,
and then
yeah.
we spiraled way out of
I
control.
told you it was going to spiral. I told you.
So do you compete with the RC
I
stuff?
just started that, and I didn't think I would, but it's like a whole nother thing to it. Like, I started out and I just had like a pretty stock rig. I had like $200 in it.
Okay.
And then like Key City up in Frederick is awesome. Like it's this big warehouse full of rocks.
Like a hobby shop.
Yeah, they sell all the parts you need when you break and tons of rocks in the warehouse. It's all like inside. Like
Is it like Pasta of Paris rocks or is it like actual rocks?
actual rocks.
Wild.
Like people will bring rocks from all over too. Like there's Moab rocks in there.
Hey, we got one of those in my office.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's really cool. And
The Lego Jeep's on it.
Yeah.
started the comps like a month ago.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And it's very dangerous.
Yeah. Because you
Just keep
wanting to
pouring
be-
money.
Yeah, because like the rig that I brought tonight, I had like $300 in up until 2 months ago.
Oh, jeez.
What do you got
Up
in it
until-
now?
It's like $900.
Oh, nice. That's still not horrible.
Now I've got a buddy that has
More than your XJ.
It is.
$3,500 into a 6 scale.
Damn.
God.
So 1/6 scale.
Yeah, it's like this big.
That's sweet.
But he's got 3,500. Like that's more than my YJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a ton of money.
Yeah, there's definitely like a breakover point, but I feel
Well, we
like
saw him at SEMA.
what
I
you're
mean, there's-
getting for that 30, like to build the equivalent full size rig is way more than 3,500.
Oh yeah, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I think I draw the line there though. Like that's
So you could almost scale the money up by the scale of the size. Like if you're 900 in, I would say 90 grand builds that in a real.
well, yeah. I mean, it's rear steer,
Yeah.
yeah. It's probably
equivalent of like 43s.
Yeah.
Full bead locks, like the whole nine
Yeah,
yards.
100
they're like actual beadlocks too.
Oh, yeah.
So you gotta sit there and screw in.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Not 32, I
That's
hope.
terrible.
No, those wheels have like
Those are only hand tight, though.
Yeah.
12, I think, on each
12.
wheel.
Okay, that's much better than 32.
Some of them have 32. Like my 24 scale has
Jesus.
32.
Christ.
They're 1.3 millimeter. That's
Jesus
the Allen head.
Christ.
No thanks.
It's
I'm
fun
good.
though. It's
I have ADD, but even my hyperfixation has a limit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just frustrating. That's not hyperfixation.
Yeah.
That's
that's
So
why I
where-
bought an electric screwdriver.
Where do you go? So
Yeah.
are you just gonna stick to like the local competition stuff? You're gonna try and branch out and do.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like they get into it though. There's a lot of companies will have team drivers, and like they get sponsored and they go
That's
to
awesome,
events
though.
all over. Like
maybe I am doing this all wrong.
it's
Just make a
it's
copy of the
way
Chevelle.
bigger than you think.
I bet there's gonna be a class at.
Like,
Oh
And
no,
Leah?
that's the problem. Is I know
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
big.
Oh, yeah.
The winch I have is made by Brent.
and Leah.
I guess I don't. Do
Yeah,
they both
in
do
the
it?
works, yeah.
in the works. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've got his steering links and
That's so funny because PJ was like, "Hey, you know what's wild? Freddie didn't know that he was a customer of
I did
Brent
know-
and Leah
lived
until
in Stephen City.
yeah,
I was like, oh,
until yeah, they're right up the road. So I live in Bluemont. They're 15 minutes from my house.
okay, that's awesome.
Because when I did these guys weren't able to make it, but when I did the interview there, I went to her house and did it on the kitchen table, and then I saw the shop in the garage, and it's like lathes, and they have it felt like hundreds of 3D printers. Like it's a full on operation.
Yeah, he does some good stuff.
And now he's building his own 2 buggy.
Yeah, and he just finished hers, right? Or redid it.
Redid it. Yeah, he redid the wiring and put a crawl box in it, and I think it was a new transmission. And then they blew up a carrier yesterday. So,
Yeah.
One thing to another.
Yep.
but yeah, man. I don't know. Anybody else got anything? Tom, Trevor,
It's
Freddie,
dinner time now, so.
PJ.
How'd you meet me?
Yeah, how'd you meet Peach? Peener.
Peener.
Instagram.
Instagram.
Is it Instagram?
Seven's not, I'd probably say.
Yeah, either that or Forest.
No, how do you know Forrest?
Jeeps.
Oh, Jeeps. Okay. just Percival Jeeps.
Yeah,
It's always Jeeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the only vehicle that comes with friends.
It's
Right.
how we meet the worst
I guess
people in our
Subarus do,
lives.
but Subarus aren't as cool.
no.
You don't want to be friends with Subaru people.
It's a lot of vape.
I've owned Subarus, but I'm not a Subaru person.
Did you say that's a lot
That's
of
what.
vaping?
That's what. That's
yeah, a lot
what
of
Subaru
vape
people
pod
say.
competition.
Going to the Vape Olympics. Getting there in
yeah.
my WRX.
All right, guys, check Freddie out. Fidget Fred.
Yep.
On
Fidget dot
Instagram.
Fred.
Check us out. Do you have a YouTube or anything?
I do. That stock car Chevelle.
That's Stock Car Chevelle on YouTube. Check us out, Dirt Nerds Off Road on YouTube, and the Dirt Drive podcast everywhere else. I think that's it.
Buy our shit, please.
Buy our shit so we can get into cool hobbies like Freddie.
Yeah. More shenanigans.
More shenanigans.
We need 19 hobbies.
We just can't afford 19 hobbies.
I can't afford one hobby.
We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah.
Like, that was cool.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Of course. And I think we're going to go wheeling and
Yeah.
I hope so.
do a bunch of like wild shit.
We got a lot
'cause
of Jeeps to
You don't,
fix.
you don't have a V8 laying around by any chance, do you?
No, but we
I bet he could find one.
Yeah, you definitely have a friend somewhere who's got one.
I've got an LS swap project I need to finish, so I'll definitely lean on you.
I'm not available during snowstorms to pick it up, though. That's the only problem.
Yeah,
Cool, man.
Done doing that.
I appreciate it. We appreciate it. And thank you to everyone listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Peace.
Are you enjoying this podcast? Do you want more ridiculousness from the Dirt Nerds? Check out DirtNerdsOffroad.com. It'll link to all of our social media, as well as our YouTube page, and you can pick up some sweet merch to help support the podcast and other adventures.